down the hammer and pick up the pencil. You're about to listen to the Savvy Radio Show. Learn from real-life real estate investors, experience revealed with the Savvy Landlord as your host.
What's going on, Savvy Investors? This is your friend, Steve Van Kalmberg, Oklahoma City. Actually, I'm not in Oklahoma City. I am in Bath, Maine. I finally made it, helping a friend out, and I am about to get on an airplane here pretty soon. And I was like, man, Van Kalmberg, you got to stay committed to your goals. So I worked out outside for a little while. And then I was like, I got to do a podcast every day, but I don't want to do one every day. But that's okay. You got to do, success is doing the things that you don't want to do. Well, it is June 8th, 2017. And I was like, man, I got to come up with a podcast quick and fast in a hurry. So I was like, okay, what if I did? I've been wanting to do this podcast based on half of the year review. You know, financial people, business people, successful people always review where they came from and where they're going. And so there's a thing called the quarterly review. But I'm like, I need to help people out and say, hey, where are you at? It's June 8th. Are you reaching your goals? What's the review? What's your goal review? And so I'm going to break down, if you listen to my podcast 6 months ago, crazy, maybe 40, 50 episodes ago, I went into the details of my goals. So let's just see how far I have gotten or achieved or reached. On January 19th, I did this. So this is roughly almost 6 months ago. Section 1 was health. Run a half marathon on April 30th. Yes, bing, bing. I did it. I ran a half marathon, 13.1 miles. So I achieved that goal. No red meat or burgers or steaks. Still have not had a burger. I accidentally ate a hot dog the other day. I thought it was a vegan hot dog, but it was some beef. So there is some beef in my body. Work out 5 times a week of 40 minutes each of cardio. I have achieved that. Some of it's tapered off a little bit because of my injury, but I'm still doing it. Another goal I had is to eat at least one plant-based shake and fruit a day, like an apple or banana. Well, I have eaten at least one fruit a day. I have not had a shake every day, so I'm okay. Short-term weight goals, and I hit my goals and stuff. Well, one of the goals, bang, bang, since this time, January 19th to today, I have lost 25 pounds. Excited. Yep, you can do it. Anyone can do it if you just make the decision and commit to it. When I started really digging into it, and here's one thing how I lost weight. And you got to be consumed by it. You got to read about it every day. Even last night when I went to bed, I was tired. I spent 5 minutes reading about a diet book, a workout book. And I thought that was pretty cool. And then I realized you have to stay immersed into it. I mean, you got to get deep into what you want to do. And so if you really want to be a real estate investor, you got to stay on it every day, 5 minutes a day, 10 minutes a day. If you're in the potty, you got to pull out your phone and Google up real estate investor or techniques of an investor or whatever you're working on. Maybe you're having a problem with the roof, how to understand and measure roofs. If you stay engaged intentionally, you're going to hit those goals. If you want to be wealthy, you got to set milestones and goals to get there. It says spiritual, be consistent in my quiet time. Bang, bang. I've been on and off, but I've been pretty consistent on that. Don't miss church. Make it a priority. Bang, I did that. Making it a priority. Date night with my wife once a month, guaranteed. Done that. Date night once a month with my kids. Done that. With my boys' night. Done that. Be home at 4 o'clock every day. Yep, I've done that. I'm so excited. I'm shooting for 3. Increase your net worth by legacy, by giving. Yes, we have been giving. I can give you some updates here in a minute. Have I reached my savvy goals? Oh, shucks. I'm reading them right now. 6 months ago, I said, hey, be on Audible. Am I on Audible? No. 6 months ago, did I say book release on the money book? No. Have I released a law book? No. Have I done the Secrets of Success books? No. Have I worked on the landlord course? Yes, I am working on the landlord course. That is coming out in October. I'm giving you exactly everything I've ever put into landlording. That little dog in the background is not my dog, but let me tell you about that dog. I'm at somebody's house, trapped up in a room, trying to break off this podcast. But the cool thing, I don't like dogs, okay, because they just make noise, they cost money, blah, blah. But I like this little dog because his name is Yoda. That's the only reason why I like this dog. But he's barking at me. I can hear him in the other room. I'm like, back off, Yoda. Don't let me get the Darth Vader on you. Anyway, my goal for Savvy is to make $120,000 revenue. 6 months, have I made $60,000? No, I haven't. The Savvy Radio Show goal, 300 episodes, interview 50 people. Bang. I am on my way for the year for 300 episodes, I hope. I need to double check that. I've only interviewed about 10 people. So if you want to be interviewed, I would love to interview you. I need to get you on the show. As a real estate investor, my goal was to buy 20 units. I am heading in that direction. Madness. I'm over 5 units right now on the books. I got one about to close. I'm going to talk about that one tomorrow on Friday. Oh, no, I already talked about that one. I got 2 more in the pipeline. Short-term vacations, trying to do them. I don't know if I'm going to buy any more Airbnb. That may be another episode. Another office building. Man, I wrote that 6 months ago. No, I'm out of office buildings. And at the end of this, I can tell you the reasoning why I've modified these goals. And I think that's what you need to do. You need to go back and revisit your goals. You should look at your goals every day, at least every week. I've been all over the place, but I am trying to get on it. But right now, I'm definitely doing a review. Giving back, I want to do the ABC book release. I wrote a book on ABC's A Success for Kids. I need to get that on Kickstarter. If anybody has been on Kickstarter or knows how to do a Kickstarter and you want to help your boy out, I would appreciate that. I definitely, before I die, before December, I want to kick out a Kickstarter and do that. I want to, next year, I want to buy a double table of Whiz Kids. I did do that this year. I did accomplish that. Bought 2 tables. I did give a bunch away there. Gave away an e-bike. Thought that was pretty pumped. 100 goals dreamed in the class. I'm going to need your help. Stay accountable. Okay. So that's it. That's my goals so far. Now, what happened? Okay. Well, I'm on those goals. If you want to go back and listen to those, I just go into them a little bit more in depth. But I was like in March, so January, February, wrote my goals down in January, February, I'm rocking them, I'm focused on them, I'm looking on them every day. March 1st comes around, and I believe like the Holy Spirit comes over me, bang, bang. He's like, fat boy. This is how God talks to me. Yo, fat boy. Yo, homie. You need to focus on these 3 things. And I think what happened was in my whole life, I've been all over the place doing so much stuff. And what I've learned recently is whatever I focus on, something else fails. And I'm like, wow, everybody was always admiring me. Man, you got so much going on. You got a DJ company, you got a bridal company, you doing real estate, you got an apartment building, you got No, something's failing. It may look good on the outside, but on the inside, I'm going crazy because where do I put my energy? And I'm just thankful I got some really good friends that are just cuddling me right now, just holding my hand, helping me decide on what I should be doing. What legacy should I be leaving? What kind of impact that I want to make in society? What am I doing? And so I can't do it all. I'm like, all right, so God, I believe the Holy Spirit, God, Jesus, Buddha, whatever the freak you listen to, whatever you believe in, you get this epiphany, you get this moment of life altering thinking. And mine was, okay, these 3 things, focus on these 3 things. So one was family. Okay, I get it. Family and God is one. Man, I'm about the family right now. I got little babies, 8, 6, and 3. They grow up so fast. You got to stay time on your family. But I'm like, man, Lord, I want to make money. I want to go to the next level. I want to give back. No, see, you can make money later, but you got to spend time with your family now, because your family right now may not be around later. They may find a husband. They may go to college in another state. You need to take this opportunity right now and crush it with the family. I was like, okay, you know, I'm down. You know, I'm a grinder, folks. You know, back in the day when I was young, 16-hour days, wake up, work all day, fall asleep right there, just like Edison, trying to get it down. Number 2, health, fat. You're fat. I was like, okay, I'm fat. Yep, you're fat, man. You got to stop being fat, period. What kind of legacy you're leaving? You can't even live long. You can't even walk up a flight of steps. And so I just went ballistic on the weight loss. So, I mean, my life is pretty grand, right? I'm spending as much time as I can with my family. And then I'm working out like an animal, twice a day, once a day, every day, all day. Even on the road, I brought some little resistance bands. I'm like, I am committed. I'm doing this regardless of what I think, how lazy my mind is. I'm going to crush this deal. I'm going to be healthy. I'm going to set the example. I'm going to make a difference in my children's lives, and hopefully I can spread and show that you can lose 50 pounds. You can be lean. You can do well if you want to. And so but you got to make a decision. You got to commit to it. So 1, family; 2, health, fat boy, lose weight. And 3, I'm like, thank you, Lord. He's like, stay in real estate, single family homes. I was like juiced up on that one. I was like, okay, you know, I love single family homes. One of my mentors was like, dude, bro, you're good at single family homes. You should stick on single family homes. He told me that about 5 years ago. But I mean, I want to be in apartments. Everybody, you know, I want to do this. I want to do that. My homie's like, dude, do what you're good at. Crush it. And I want to challenge myself. I want to do more things. And I realized, man, I can do more and bless more if I'm very successful in one area. And so I was like, okay, single family homes, I'm going to crush it. I did set the goal for 20 units this year, 20 single family homes, I'm going to crush it. No apartments, no nothing. And it's been hard. It's like an addiction of success. Like I want to grow, but I got to stay focused. And I was like, Lord, what about the Savvy Landlord brand? What about Savvy Investors? That's not even in the equation. Like 1 family, 2 health, 3 single family. Now I get why you want me to buy single family homes. I can sell them quicker. If I need to, I can leverage them. They're easy to manage. I can set it and forget it. If I start a new project, like buying apartment buildings at 1,000 units, I'm going to run into some issues. I'm going to be distracted from your health, distracted from your family. But I want to buy property all over the country. I want to buy property here. I want to buy property. No, single family homes. I'm like, all right. What about Savvy Landlord? I spent all this time and resources and effort. He's like, put Savvy Landlord on hold for temporary reasons. I'm like, man, Lord, this is kind of a blind faith deal. What about the Savvy Radio Show? What up? And so I'm still rocking the Savvy Radio Show. I don't know why. I feel like I'm led to do this in some fame or fashion. Not fame, but some fashion for some reason. I don't know. But the cool thing is, I'm going to let y'all know, the folks out there that text me, somebody texted me yesterday, and I'm going to get all broke up. Hey, man, you impacted my life. I really needed to hear about failing forward. And I was like, man, I just be coming up with this stuff random. I don't even know what kind of impact that it makes. And I appreciate all the close friends that listen. Even my wife the other day listened to a podcast, and I was like, Shanae, I broke off DISC, and I mentioned you in there, and I want to make sure, and the other day I was on the road, and she's like, yo, I listened to it, and I liked it. And she said, you're really good at what you do. And I was like, man, all right. But I don't even know what to be talking about. So I'm like, I know this is the Savvy Radio Show, and I know it needs to be on real estate. So, all right. So 6 months in the deal. And so that's what's going on right now. I'm going through a life change. If you know Jesus, give your boy a prayer. Like, make sure that I'm doing the right thing, what I want to be doing. I do need some help. If you want me to cover some subjects, man, it's easy for me. When you send in a question, I can answer that question and rock that bad boy. All right, so what have I learned recently? Well, just the other day, I dissolved a partnership. And I don't even know if I'm going to do a whole podcast on partnerships, but I've learned a lot about partnerships. One thing I didn't know, if you're in a partnership with somebody else, say you have another LLC with that person, you have to get that LLC tax return done before you can do your own personal taxes. Wow. So let me get this straight. I can't do what I'm supposed to be doing because I got to wait on somebody else to give me approval so we can go ahead and hire an accountant and do the taxes. Yep. Well, I learned a lot about partnerships. So I'm not dogging partnerships. I'm not against partnerships, but I'm just saying that, I really jumped into a partnership. I didn't really realize what the end game would look like. I thought it would be bliss. You got to think about it like marriage. If you came up to me right now, you're like, VC, yo, I want to get married, and I just met this girl. I'm gonna break it off to you real fast. You're gonna have marriage counseling. You got to wait at least 2 years. I was about to say 1. You really need to get to know that person. You heard a couple podcasts ago. You need to pull the credit. You need to do all the due diligence as possible. I think you need to do the same concept with partnerships. If you're thinking about doing partnerships, I'm not trying to dissuade you from not doing them. If you are going to do them, at least have clauses in there that state what happens when this happens. If I want to sell out in my partnerships that I just dissolved, and nothing in a negative way, just they seem to be working. It was a good thing and a good choice. Anyway, another thing that I'm working on right now is pretty tough for me is stop buying things to feel good. I grew up poor and broke, and I don't know if you're like this, but I'm about to break it off. Hopefully this is going to impact you in some form of fashion, because, this is something that's been on my mind. I watched the movie the other day called The Minimalist. Okay. And I tried to watch it again. I used to have this pride issue where you only watch a movie once. And I used to have the super pride issue when I was DJing. You can only play one song once. And I was like, that's dumb. I'm like, if the party's popping and people want to hear the Cupid Shuffle one more time, what's it going to hurt you? You play the Cupid Shuffle. They're paying you to be a DJ. You play the Cupid Shuffle one more time. And so I realized if you want to be successful, your pride, you got to step that to the side. And I was like, okay, I got that. I'm gonna play the Cupid Shuffle 3 times. If the children want the Cupid Shuffle 5 times, I won't play it, right? Because they're paying me. Well, I used to have this stupid philosophy when I was younger. Oh, I only need to watch one movie one time. And then now, I got kids and I'm trying to raise up my children. I'm like, man, we need to watch The Karate Kid. You got to understand. This is what happens with bullies. This is how you stand up. And I was like, man, I watched this Minimalist movie, and I watched some other movies, and I'm going to break off an episode pretty soon. I'm working on it on movies that have impacted me in a massive way. It wasn't The Karate Kid, folks, so I know you're thinking about it. But this movie, The Minimalist, is just weird, right? It was just, you tune it on, and it's like kind of a documentary. It's not a big budget. It's just some pretty savvy 2 guys got together and said they're homies. It's like, hey, we need to tell people about, going nowhere in the corporate world. We're chasing things and making sacrifices, and we're not getting no return. And I was like, man, the movie actually kind of moved myself and my wife. And I mean, we've already been through this transformation right now, 43 years old, man. We're giving away stuff. We don't need stuff. We want to be fast. We want to be lean. But I realized there was some addiction inside of me. There was something inside of me that went on Amazon and looked at, the deal of the day. Like, what do I need? I have everything. And then I realized back in the day, from my mom and from being broke and poor, when you earn money, you get a reward. And so I remember years ago rolling into Best Buy. Thank God I never go into that joint again. But you roll into Best Buy and I had to go buy a CD because I lied to myself and I said, hey, I'm a DJ. I deserve a CD. In reality, I was just making myself feel good. And so I realized in this last transformation, not last, but this recent transformation in my life, that I need to stop buying things to feel good. So that's you out there. Is that you? I don't know who I'm speaking to. Are you buying things to feel good? Are you doing things to feel good? And I realized I need to, I'm all about getting a return, using money wisely, being a steward, multiplying. But whatever I need to be doing, I don't need to be buying anything. I need to save for experiences. And those experiences could be your dream. Like they could be a travel dream or a ministry. When I really been just trying to be aware of what's in my life and around. And, I go to tenants' houses and I just see stuff everywhere, full of stuff, like new stuff, new TV. There's nothing wrong with this stuff. I'm just telling you right now, the latest and greatest phone. I understand. I'm not trying to judge. But then they complain that they got no money. They complain that they can't go to they can't go on trips and they want to go on a cruise, but they can't afford it. And I think that you can afford it. You got to make sacrifices. And some of those sacrifices could be making your lunch. Some of those sacrifices could be cutting out the cable. Some of those sacrifices is to have a friend say, hey man, look, I really want to achieve these goals and these dreams. How do I get there? And you're going to trust this person. You might need to hire a coach or something. And that's something I'm doing right now. I'm trying to hire someone right now to help me get physically in shape. All right. And that's been one of my dreams forever. I'm like, one day I want to hire a trainer. And I thought that was just retarded. I'm sorry. I guess I was saying retarded. I thought it was ridiculous how expensive it is. And, and then I asked myself, man, bro, what is it really worth? Would you pay X amount of money to do this? Thousands of dollars to lose weight? I remember when I got my braces, I saved up $4,000 20 years ago. And I had jacked up teeth in high school and in college. Every photo it would look like I was missing a tooth because my one tooth was shadowing my other tooth, and it just crushed me. I wouldn't even smile. And then I saved, and I got my braces, and I just started smiling again. My life was changed, and I was like, man, why did I wait so long? Why didn't I not do this earlier? And that's what I'm here to tell you today. Why not you do this earlier? Why not live your dreams and make the quick sacrifices now to live a fulfilled life later? Discipline now, enjoy it later. Do the things other people won't do now so you can do the things that you want to do that nobody else can do later. Anyway, I know this was deep. This is what it is when you do an episode every day. I don't know if I'm going to lose fans. I don't know if I'm going to gain fans, but I'm going to do what God called me to do. Anyway, this is Savvy Van Kallenberg. Savvy landlord, call me Savvy. Steve Van Kallenberg, Savvy.
Thanks for listening to the Savvy Radio Show. Glide online and listen to our other motivating episodes at SavvyRadioShow.com. Connect on Twitter at LandlordBook and always be buying assets.